What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Welcome to the channel, everyone. If you guys remember the other day, we managed to summon our very first 6-star awakening from the Soulstorms, right? So if you guys watched the video, you probably know what I'm talking about. Today, we're gonna showcase the world's strongest Coldheart, because we do have pretty strong gear, and of course, we managed to summon a 6-star awakening soul for her. Let's have a quick look at the champion. So basically, we're gonna see what's the maximum damage that we can get out of Coldheart. Ages ago, I brought you guys the very first one-shot spider with Septimus, right? So that was a strategy that I made like ages and ages ago, before Gurptek was out, only with Battle Khazar and making the most out of the masteries. Then we had Gurptek, made it much easier. So we were managing to one-shot the spider with Septimus without a problem. Coldheart was nowhere near it. Not as powerful, and even now, but considering that we just got an upgrade on her and we have a blessing which will give us crazy extra damage, I'm gonna cover that in just a second. Let me just quickly find my Coldheart because she's all the way at the bottom. So here we are, Savage and Cruel. Don't get discouraged by the stats, because we are talking about the world's strongest Coldheart, right? So it doesn't mean that you need to have her as powerful. For the very end game, she kind of like drops a bit in terms of damage, because all the enemy max HP is capped on all the stages in dungeons, in Doom Tower, on Hydra. But if we're gonna have a quick look at her total stats, we have 37k HP, 3.4k attack, 197 speed, 74 crit rate, 321 crit damage, and we have 252 accuracy. Now, if you're paying attention at the blessings, you see we're getting 15 crit damage from there, 25 from the Great Hall, 10 from Masteries. So that means that we don't have Flawless Execution on. We have Helm Smasher. I'm gonna walk you through that in just a second. And Savage and Cruel, because we wanna ignore as much defense as possible. 25% from Savage, 5% more from Cruel, so we're gonna ignore 30% defense with the gear sets. Then we have the War Master proc as well, which will bring 25% more. Now, let me quickly show you the blessing, right? So we have Hero Soul. Increases the damage inflicted to bosses and their minions according to the number of living enemies. So this will give us an extra damage, okay? 3% for each enemy. So think about all the spiderlings that you have on. They are considered minions. And the boss, that will actually increase the damage quite a bit. So we're gonna get like, I think we have 11 spiderlings plus the boss, so that's 12. Multiply that with 3%. You're gonna get quite a bit of extra damage in there. Masteries, we have offense and support tree. So tier 6, we have Helm Smasher. And probably you're wondering why I have Stoked Fury, because we're gonna use Gurptek as well. And I'm gonna show you a couple of different things in here. Support, because why not? It's pretty pointless to get defense. Now, you could run a Coldheart like this. You don't need these stats, okay? Don't get me wrong. You could run a Coldheart like this all the way up to stage 20. Once you're passing from stage 20 in dungeons and stuff like this, you definitely want to change a bit the masteries. You don't need to have such a powerful build, because you're going to cap the 10% damage with 220 crit damage. Okay, if you have Savage, you're easily going to cap it with 180 crit damage as an idea, you know? So it's going to be much easier to hit the cap on enemy max HP on stage 21 upwards on Doom Tower. So it's really no point in going on this sort of overkill, but I really want to see what's the max number that we can pull out of Coldheart. And probably you've seen it on the thumbnail. Yes, that is an actual thing that Coldheart can do. So we talked about stats. We talked about everything that she can do. Heartseeker is the second hardest hitting enemy max HP skill in the entire game after Septimus. Okay, so Septimus is the GOAT, is the king when we're talking about the highest hit. Coldheart comes in as second. So this skill right here actually is pretty strong. You see, even the books give us 30% extra damage. We don't need to build her with 100% crit rate. So this should be actually pretty fun. We're gonna try her in the spider. We're gonna have a look at what sort of damage can we get from her on the dragon, on the Mino, and of course, we're gonna take her on the Fire Knight stage 20. So this build is the OG build. That's how we used to have the champions build before. Probably that's how my Septimon used to look. Maybe not so much crit damage. Now it's definitely easier to get this high crit damage with the Awakening, with the Empowerment on Legendary. So yes, my Septimus was not as powerful before. But before we move over to the Spider Dungeon, I just want to let you guys know, if you enjoyed the music you heard in the video, I partnered up with Soundstripe. They have an amazing music library. So if you're a content creator, a music enthusiast, definitely head over and check them out. The link will be in the description down below or in the pinned comment. Plus, I can save you 15% on checkout by using code Skratch. Let's jump over to the Spider Dungeon. So let's start with our very old friend, the Spider Queen. We're gonna have Gurptek, Battle Khazar, Venus for defense down and weaken. Now, if Hand Smasher doesn't proc, of course, it's gonna be a massive difference in damage. 25% ignore defense on bosses that have such a high defense and such a high HP is actually very, very important. So we're gonna land defense down and weaken, activate the Battle Khazar's passive, Gurptek's passive, and we just smacked for an impressive 6.9 million damage, guys. Bonkers, right? Bonkers to see a 6.9 million damage from a Coldheart. That's so freaking crazy. Now, the maximum HP on the boss is actually 5,552,849. That's the HP of the boss. I'm so curious why it's not a rounded amount or something. Why it's always been like this, but that's kind of like where we are in terms of damage with a Coldheart on the Spider Dungeon, guys. Very, very impressive. If I'm gonna increase the crit damage on the champion with, let's just say, what's his name? Wurlim, that could potentially increase the damage a bit high. But then again, we have a fluctuation of 20% RNG in the damage, in the numbers, you know, either higher, either lower. So it's gonna take us tons and tons of runs to actually see if we're gonna smack it harder. But just for the purpose of the video, let's see. If we're gonna bring in Wurlim, what can we get out of her like this, you know? Can we actually proc higher than that? And of course, I'm gonna remove all these champions that increase the passives, and we're gonna do a couple of runs without it, just to see her natural damage with the blessing, you know? So there we go. Increase crit damage and 7.2 million damage. That is freaking crazy, man. 7.2. Disgusting, actually, to see this sort of numbers. Very, very nice. And yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Now imagine if this was still kind of like the meta, you know? If we were able to do this on stage 25. That was actually gonna be freaking crazy. But it's not the case, unfortunately. Now, how I mentioned, I want to see her damage, right? So we just alone, without increasing it from passives, without increased crit damage. Let's see what we're getting out of a Venus and Coldheart. Like, what would be her damage? I'm saying around 4 million, okay? With Hand Smasher and everything else, I think it should be around 4 million. So let's give it a go and see. 3,990,000. Pretty damn close, right? That was actually pretty damn close to the 4 million. We gotta do a couple of other runs and see how consistent it is at that damage, you know. There we go. Let's give it another run. Let's give it another run here. Can we beat the 4 million? Maybe we can. I feel like that Hand Smasher proc there, but it's still the 20% damage, the difference in the damage, you know. 4.4 million damage, almost 4.5. Damn. I underestimated Coldheart. This is definitely the world's strongest Coldheart right here, ladies and gentlemen. At least what you're gonna see on YouTube. It's gonna be an overkill to make her stronger than this. I do have the luck of having the 6-star awakening on her that gives us 36% more damage by having that specific blessing. Very, very nice to see this solid damage just from Coldheart alone. Let's move over and try her in a different dungeon. So moving over to the Mino, guys. This is kind of like a speedrun team for me. Instead of Coldheart, I normally run Septimus when I really want to get Masteries fast for somebody, but I don't want to buy them, right? I just want to farm them. I'm using this team, and it's very, very efficient. Coldheart doesn't prioritize as the boss like Septimus, you know, when we get there to use the enemy max HP skill on him. But we're gonna target the boss ourselves in case if Aitos doesn't get his AoE skills on, you know. So let's see what we're getting. What we're getting here. We're gonna have to target the boss for. Oh, actually, maybe we don't have to. Okay, beautiful. 360k bank, 10 seconds farm. Pretty efficient. It's kind of like on the same average with Septimus, 9 to 10 seconds. You see, my best time on the minor is actually 7 seconds and was achieved with this team. But this is actually pretty nice. We don't have anything to increase the passives on Coldheart. I feel like if I would lower the speeds to have them kind of like a bit under, I could get more damage out of it. But it's just gonna slow down the run. Septimus will hit for around the same sort of number. The enemy max HP is not capped on this boss. The only difference is that the Mino doesn't have such a crazy high HP, such a crazy high defense, you know, so it's easier to kind of like deal with this boss. 404k this time around, again, 10 seconds, kind of like the same situation. So it's actually pretty decent. If we're gonna go over to stage 20 on the dragon, I'm curious to see, can we one-shot the dragon? That's gonna be pretty damn crazy. I remember that even with Septimus, I haven't managed to do it. Now, one thing I do want to mention here, my Coldheart is not going to benefit from her awakening on the dragon, on the Fire Knight, because they are no side minions. So it's not like she's gonna get tons of extra damage. She will benefit from the passives from Battle Khazar and Gurptek. That's why we have them here. So I'm gonna manual all the way to the boss to see what we're getting out of it. I wish that this 10% cap would not be on every single boss in the endgame, especially on the Doom Tower ones, you know, because I feel like we could actually make more use of these sort of champions, especially on the Dark Fae, you know. That was kind of like the very first example I had in my mind. We got Aitos in here to help us clear the waves faster, you know. It's actually making a massive difference in having somebody like him in here to assist us or no. There we go, you see. We should be at the boss already. Now, here will be the moment of truth. What sort of damage we're getting out of her. Okay, you do it. Okay, don't kill the dragon alone, Septimus. Calm down, please. Okay, so we have debuffs on Coldheart. We have poisons on the boss. Passives are activated. Master is activated. Time to hit this Heartseeker. Hammer Smasher might proc, might not. Is the 20% damage difference as well. So let's see. 1.7 million. Almost one-shotting it. I'm pretty convinced that with some luck on our side, when we're hitting the cap on the damage, we should be able to one-shot the dragon too, which is actually pretty damn crazy if you stay to think about it. Be able to one-shot the dragon stage 20 with a Coldheart. Pretty interesting. I want to try the golem. I'm a bit scared. I'm not gonna say that I'm not, because we might get wrecked, you know. If we're not one-shotting the golem, we're gonna get wrecked. So let's actually take this out and bring in our team, you know. So what do we have? Let's use the HP and go in like that. Again, we're gonna have Aitos to assist us on the waves here. We're gonna be able to do that. And even that, because why not? And let's get here. We can land the HP burn, and then we're gonna prioritize the boss directly, you know. That's what matters. Let's see. Let's see, what can we do when we get at the boss? Beautiful, beautiful. I'm actually gonna hit a minion with Aitos in the hope that we're not gonna one-shot them, actually. Whew, that was at the limit, Coldheart versus the Ice Golem, stage 20. Can we one-shot him, or he's just gonna retaliate and wreck my entire team? Oh, get down. Get down. Nothing stops this Coldheart. Nothing stops her. 1.7 million damage. Full HP on the Ice Golem. Go to sleep. That's what Coldheart can do. That's actually pretty disgusting to see this, man. I know it's not really gonna help anyone in the end game and stuff like this, but this is just a fun thing to do every now and then. How I mentioned, I like to have fun in the game, not only to do guides, beat this stage and forget about everything else. I like to have fun every now and then, and this is actually pretty damn interesting. I'm gonna go in the same way on a stage 20 on the Fire Knight. Now, I'll be honest, if you wanna use a Coldheart for this specific boss, you definitely wanna have Phantom Touch. Phantom Touch actually counts as an extra hit on the shield on the Fire Knight. So imagine Coldheart hitting with an A1 at 6 star is going to be 100% proc for each one of the hits. She will knock down the shield like she actually hit the boss twice. 8 hits directly, which is very, very, very powerful. So let's knock that down. Change our team and bring in what we used before. We're going to go in the very same format. What I'm just hoping is that at the boss, I'm going to have enough hits to knock down the shield, you know. I should be fine. I should be fine. I'm going to try to keep Aitos's A2 as well on for the boss. I'm not going to use any of those because it's not a necessity here. They're not as tanky. Of course, we're going to open with Coldheart's A1 and then we're going to hope to be able to rotate, you know, because I have no other Thermitter manipulation or anything like that on the boss. I'm just hoping to knock it down pretty quick. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, actually. Just thinking about it, because I don't really have anything that is gonna stop the boss from taking too many turns. So let's just hope that we're going to be able to do it. I doubt it. I doubt it, actually. Thinking about it a bit more, I kind of doubt it. Maybe if I was gonna put Phantom Touch on her, was gonna be a massive difference actually. So let's do that. Just kill them one by one. Okay. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? We should be there yet. Probably is not the wisest thing that I've just done here, this team. But you know what? I'm still gonna try to see if I can manage to one-shot this boss somehow. Thanks God for the relentless procs from Venus. This might actually allow us to do it. This might actually allow us to do it. We decrease the Thermitter a bit more. Here we go. Can we? Okay, 204k. I'm still curious to see if we're going to be able to knock it down. We managed to do it. So it's not that bad actually. Heartseeker versus the Fire Knight. Now we took a bit of the HP down with the Aitos there. 1.4 million damage. Now I do have a feeling that Helm Smasher actually didn't proc here. So we're going to give it another go. I'm going to go straight at the boss. I'm not going to take you through all the pain that we had before. And I'm going to see if I'm going to be able to one-shot it. Here we are. Here we are again. Can we one-shot it now? Let's see. Helm Smasher, please proc. 1 million. So this actually kind of proves that Helm Smasher did proc before, and we just didn't have enough firepower to one-shot the Fire Knight. Kind of like the same situation with the Dragon, just a bit less damage than there. But guys, we've seen what a fully maxed Coldheart can do. And when I say fully maxed, I mean crazy gear, the empowerment, everything on her is actually pretty top-notch. I could have gotten even more crit damage on her, but honestly, it's pretty pointless. I wanted to see the damage that we're getting like this, and 7.2 million on the Spider is very impressive. One-shotting the Ice Golem, very impressive. The other bosses, they are slightly different, so yeah, not one-shotting them is not the biggest loss either. But all around, Coldheart, super powerful. How I mentioned, if you guys want to use her for the Fire Knight in the end game, and even for the Spider, if you have plenty of damage, the best blessing to get on her would actually be Phantom Touch, okay? Because this will count as extra hits. That was all for this video. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Much love, and I'll catch you all soon in the next one. Peace.